far as the draft for the Houston Texans, it is in the rearview mirror. The Texans brought in 2 wide receivers in the first 3 rounds from the same school, which is strange. Definitely a strange move. They have 3 Iowa State receivers on the roster. Also strange. When I think offense, I don't think Iowa State. I definitely don't think Iowa, but I also don't think Iowa State.
Yeah. And it's not like Xavier Hutchinson's like, Jamar Chase out there.
Right.
Like
Now,
if you have Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and you're like LSU, just keep them coming.
yeah.
I want more. That makes sense. But these guys, like honestly, if these guys are going to be hits, at least for the 2025 Texans, like they kind of have to play over Hutchinson.
I will say though, the Texans when they have drafted receivers, they've done pretty good. Hutchinson's been good.
Yeah.
For a 6th-round pick, Hutchinson's given you more than you would expect out of pretty much any 6th-round pick.
It's just that these guys are second and
Right.
4th round.
Right. And that's one of the reasons that they brought him in is apparently Xavier Hutchinson, what he brings to the table makes them trust Matt Campbell and his program so much that they didn't take just one, they took 2. And the crazy thing is the comparisons for both Jaden Higgins and for Jalen Noel are Nico Collins and Tank Dell. That part to me made me laugh very hard. Now, what are the odds that a team in the Big 12 has 2 guys like that on their program? 0. But
what? Tank Dell was on a Big 12 team.
I get that, but to have both of those guys in the same wide receiver draft class at an Iowa State team, 0.
It's like, okay, what that tells me is I should not draft a single other Iowa State player because how is this team not in the playoffs?
Exactly. Like
if they had 2 NFL wide receivers.
If you're the quarterback of Iowa State right now, you
get a degree. Get that degree.
You know what? If you got the degree, good.
Get that degree.
But you might be needing to give back some of the NIL money that they gave you to play quarterback at Iowa State. I'm sure whoever was under center. Do you know who it was off the top of your head?
Rocco Becht.
Yeah, okay.
He's like fine. He's like a fine Big 12 quarterback.
I'm intrigued by these 2. I think ultimately for the Texans, what they're saying is we can coach everybody up if they are of a mind that we trust.
Yes. If they went to Iowa State, USC apparently, Alabama, LSU,
they believe in
Ohio State.
Yeah.
They believe in you.
They believe in you.
If you didn't, tough.
They have a type. They're very specific about that type. To their credit, they have done a hell of a job coaching these guys up. I haven't seen much pushback to what the Texans did over the weekend. And, of course, they also bring in Ariante Essery, the tackle from Minnesota, Ursery. I like these picks conceptually, just based off of reading them. It's tough to make projections. I'm not expecting these guys to be day one contributors. And I think for some people, that's going to frustrate you. You're going to be looking at these guys because they are early. And you saw last year where they bring in Kamari Lassiter and Kalen Bullock in 2nd and 3rd round. And those guys were immediate contributors. Yeah. The odds are against it happening again. They could be good this season. They could. This is not me ruling it out. But I think ultimately when I'm looking at this draft class, I don't know that this is going to be day one contributors. And I'm very curious as to how people will be talking about these guys the first couple of months of the year. Because I trust D'Amico Ryans to get the most out of them. And I think that Nick Caserio's got a pretty damn good eye, especially when it comes to drafting receivers in the mid-rounds. John Mechie's the only one that you're like, oh, I don't know about. And I mean, Mechie had a torn ACL and cancer. So it's a lot to overcome.
That is two big hurdles.
2 big hurdles. One, I can see him getting over. 2, it's so, and Mechie's probably gone, to be perfectly honest. I don't know how he makes the team. If you take a look at the receiving group, they like Xavier Hutchinson a lot. You just brought in a 2nd and a 3rd round pick. I guess Tank Dell's going to be on IR, but you have Christian Kirk and Nico Collins too.
Yeah. And you signed Berrios,
Braxton Berrios.
Yeah, who cares?
And Justin
the other
Watson.
Guy,
Yeah.
Watson.
The exciting whites who are not so excited.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think they'll make the team either.
Yeah, no.
Especially now.
Maybe Berrios as like the Steven Sims returner type.
Even then, though, because Jalen Noel, that's his job.
That is true.
It's
and that is why I think that one of these receivers now, To me, flip a coin. I don't know, but I think one of these receivers will make. I don't know about like day one, like week one impact, but I mean they're gonna have the opportunity. And if you're taking Nick Casario's, I guess, word, or you're trusting his evaluation, chances are one of these guys is going to be good as a rookie. Now, I'm not saying Kamari Lassiter like should have been a finalist for rookie of the year or the year before with Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they should have a role on this team, whether it's Noel, as you know, they won't have Tank Dell, so he'll be that's a spot that's open to be new Tank Dell, or Higgins working opposite of Collins.
20, 30, 40 catches, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's I think a realistic expectation to go into the year with. And it's just going to be really difficult for back-to-back seasons where for the fifth time in 8 years you didn't have a first-round pick to have the middle rounds of the draft nailed every single year. Like, if these guys are contributors again, we're looking at Nick Caserio in an entirely different lens. We're looking at him like, oh my God, this guy is mid-round Jesus, Because no, but seriously, this was where Rick Smith could never get it done. Previous GM, the GM for such a long period of time. Rick Smith always got the first-round picks right. Every single first-round pick he made was good. But the second and the third-round picks, there were guys that he brought in, and you're like, okay. Well,
and it was like early. You could tell that these guys were like not an NFL player.
Yeah.
That would be like a second-round pick. That'd be who is the guard Islander name?
Xavier Su'a-Filo?
Yeah, Su'a-Filo.
Yep.
Where you're just like, oh, okay, this guy doesn't belong.
Brendan Williams. Brendan Williams wanted to be like a wrestler, and was really, really big into the WWE and some of the other stuff too. Again, not that necessarily means you're going to be a bad player, but yeah, like
second Jalen Strong mention right here.
Exactly.
Strong.
Good God. So where they've been, you've gotten a lot of contributions in the Nick Caserio era. I'm just not expecting it with these guys, and I'm curious as to how people are going to handle that. Specifically, the offensive line side of things. I do not know how much we even see of Ursary in year number one.
He could be on the Blake Fisher redshirt program where he's just going to be the third tackle. He is good. They don't want to throw him into the fire. Or he could also be very much better than Cam Robinson and be your day one left tackle.
A lot of people, by the way, found a picture of
Ursary,
and it's the guy is a bold fashion, a bold pusher of fashion. He's not this. You did not get your Tate Rutledge, mullet and stash man. No,
where'd
you gotta.
How'd they draft him?
He was available day two.
I'm gonna have Nick Caserio call into this show and be like, "You guys just keep bitching that you don't have Tate Ratledge. I got you 2 Iowa State receivers. You're over. Oh, he went to the Lions. This guy's gonna be an All-Pro.
Damn it. He's so Detroit,
and he's gonna catch a touchdown. He's gonna catch a touchdown pass and also, be awesome on the O-line.
Honestly, I would expect that. I'm not expecting immediate contributions from Ursary. I think that, it's just so hard for young offensive linemen to figure it out. Like Blake Fisher, when he finally came in at the end of this past season, was he good? No. It's going to be a competitive offensive line room, and I really do not know what to expect out of it except for this. The young players are going to be behind the 8 ball at first, and your hope, and this is what the Texans are definitely patting themselves in the back for, is that we are better at coaching people up than you are. And hey, the one area where we have not seen it is on the offensive line. So that goes to the new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley. That goes to the new offensive line coach, and Cole Popovich. But I think we should all be level-headed here. I'm just not looking for the kind of day one return on your investment for the young guys that you drafted over the weekend. I think that any big difference that's going to happen this coming season is because of the free agents you brought in. It's because of CJ Gardner-Johnson at safety. It's because of Christian Kirk at wide receiver. And it's because some of this combination of offensive linemen, at least one of them is going to be okay. That's where the progress comes from. The rookies are cherries on top for this season. And that's a good place to be in. It is. And Caserio said that going into this draft. We think we're a pretty good team. He's not wrong. The problem is the execution, especially on the offensive line last year. Rough.